of assembled fans in the Western Hemisphere. That's why they need a big house. Welcome to Ann Arbor, home of the Michigan Wolverines. We have a ranked versus unranked battle coming up here. You know how chaos can ensue if they start smelling an upset. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Oklahoma Sooners, taking on the third-ranked team in the land, the Michigan Wolverines. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. And the Wolverines will get us underway with the opening kickoff. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. So Oklahoma's offense will get the first crack at it here. This has an old-school feel to it as this running back makes his way onto the field, and all eyes are fixed. They are glued on him.
The old school, because nowadays it's usually quarterbacks and the other guys that get all the attention, but this guy's so good. He is the focal point. He's the guy everybody's looking to. He's the tone setter. He's the physical bell cow for this team. He will get the rock early and often.
This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. They knock him down after a gain of 3 to the 23.
And the running back didn't get much there. Nice job by the defense. You can tell they're focused in on this running back, on this run game, being physical, getting knockbacks, and limiting his carries.
Quickly to the tight end. He's run out of bounds, but he's got enough to move the sticks. And the Sooners will have it 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
What a great play. Winning one-on-one, getting home and getting a sack, and that kind of effort is going to get the big house fired up. These 100,000-plus Michigan Wolverine fans are on their feet screaming because of that dominant play right there coming from their D-line.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
He's there to make the stop, but the damage has been done as they pick up the first down on the throw and catch. The Sooners are moving quickly down the field. Wants to throw. It's Hawkins. Finds his tight end. They make the stop after the catch, and still some work to do to pick up that first down. People like to say conference affiliation doesn't matter. But you get the SEC against the Big Ten, and there's no denying there's a little extra juice in the building.
Definitely extra juice. The best 2 conferences, the biggest conferences, Palmer. Everybody talks about these being the power brokers and deciding the future of college football. So, yes, it matters.
A lot of blue bloods in both conferences, David, you're right. I think it's something players are also very aware of, too, is having that conference pride, wanting to win this game, representing the rest of the teams in their conference.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. He's looking to throw. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be 3rd down.
We're already in the first quarter, but already you get the feeling this could be a long day for this QB. He's already been sacked. He gets hit right there on the incomplete throw. They've got to find a way to do a better job up front of protecting.
Snags it, and he will score. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
And how about the job by this offense? This is not a scrub defense. This is a top 10 defense in college football. You got to take points whenever you can get them. Nice job putting a drive together, putting 6 on the board. No matter how it looks, you just got to keep fighting with this squad.
The AT unit on the field. And the extra point makes it 7-0. An 84-yard drive there. And the score comes on a pass from 40 yards out. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Wolverines offense has the ball for the first time. As dynamic as this guy is on the outside, Jesse, you know he's going to be cheating that way from his free safety position.
You're right, because as a quarterback, I just can't throw to my guy in the perimeter, right? I got to attack the middle of the field. The problem is you've got one of the best safeties in the nation who likes to lay people out.
Yeah, roaming the middle of the field, reading the quarterback's eyes, and he's got an eye on that receiver out there, too, that's dynamic. So let's see what kind of day he can have.
They'll snap it from the 26 on first down. On the option. At the 40, there he goes. He got past the sticks and slides to a stop, but there is a flag on the play. Amazing how many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive. We'll see if the offense can overcome it. First thing you want to do if you're in a hole is stop digging. It's 1st and 20. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Here comes the offense on 2nd down. Goes to the option. And they're not quite in rhythm there. It's incomplete.
It doesn't matter what run play you have called, if you're running it inside or outside. If the defense gets penetration, everything is done. And you saw it.
And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19. The Wolverines line up to punt it away. He's got great speed. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. Now the Oklahoma offense will go back to work. And David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heels, and you back them off a little bit, you get in a little bit of rhythm, it's really hard to stop, Jesse, and they're going to try to do it again right here.
And if you're this play caller, you're loving what's happening right now because everything you dialed up on that last drive ended up working out. You're just looking at your play sheet. Everything you're picking is working. Let's see if they can pull it off again here.
Defense a little too eager. That's an encroachment penalty, 5 yards for the offense. Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. From the gun, they'll try the middle. Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
All right, well, the offense here, they're trying to get this run game established. They obviously don't break off a long run there, but they're just trying to find their footing at this point.
They'll try to move the chains on the ground. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a loss of 5. The Sooners decide to punt it away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Punt goes out of bounds, and a really nice job as they stick them deep in their own end. They'll mark it around the 10. First down here for the offense. Direct snap. Drives into the pile just to pick up a 1. They'll spot it at the 10.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now, listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
On 2nd down, looking again to throw. And he will be sacked at the 6-yard line.
Yeah, and that's back-to-back games. This guy's not just sacked. Starting to be a problem. A guy that's diagnosing passes, rushing the passer really, really well. This defense could use this guy's production consistently.
That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. He just wanted to get it out of there from his end zone. He'll field the punt and try to get some yardage. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return gets a little bit of ground for the offense. Here comes the Sooner offense back onto the field. To the ground with the back. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
Nice run there on 1st down. You know, this is a running back that gets better as the game goes on. So they're going to want to make sure they keep feeding him the football, let him get lathered up.
To the air, it's Hawkins. He makes the connection. Tackled immediately after the catch.
Well, we knew coming into this game, this offense was going to try and get this receiver involved and get him involved early. So here they are just finding an easy completion. It's not a touchdown, but they just want to get this guy lathered up and get him into a run.
Final play of the quarter, and the ball falls incomplete. We reach the quarter break with Oklahoma on top. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. They've switched into the field, and we're ready to get things started here in the second. And the field goal unit will stay put as the head coach decides to go for it on 4th down. Now on the option. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on down. 1st down for this offense. Use the play fake, now to throw. Fires on the move. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't make the connection. They'll try again on 2nd down after the incompletion. He's looking to throw. Grabbed in the middle, it's Hansen. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34. Making great decisions, that's what all of the legendary Michigan quarterbacks have done. And they're on him immediately. Down goes the quarterback.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the first half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground. That's why they built the lead.
And the laundry drops as the pass falls incomplete. Let's see who the penalty's on. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. You make up the game plan, and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. He's looking downfield to throw. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. Ball in the air, intercepted. Got some room to run. That can be a momentum changer after the interception. Runs it back to the 37. Look, that interception is not the quarterback's fault. It's those dumb coaches for putting him in the game.
Putting him in that position in the first place, right? I'll tell you what, let's give the defender some credit here. I think, Reese, he just wanted the ball more. He did a great job in coverage, watching the QB, anticipating the receiver on his break. He went up, he plucked it.
The give from the gun. Open space at the 25. And chunk plays are the name of the game, and they get one here before the defense finally makes the stop. Now inside the 20, 1st and 10 from the 18. To the ground, he's got it again. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Last play was a near disaster, now dealing with 2nd and 13. Give to the back. They make the stop after a pickup of 3. Balls at the 18. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. 3rd down, and this crowd is tearing the lid off this place. Leaves it with the back. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. And they'll send out the kicker to try a field goal. And the kicker delivers the 3 to salvage that drive. And now the lead is extended a little further. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, want to update you on a game that went final moments ago. Navy answered the bell away from Annapolis today with an impressive victory. The midshipmen knew the challenges awaiting them, and they met them head-on. Generally the mark of a really good team. The circle of life in college football, where one team moves on feeling like kings and the other heads home licking its wounds.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. Wide out in motion. He's looking for an open man on 2nd down. They've got the screen set up. Snowed under by the defense.
Hey, man, sometimes you get the perfect play call at the perfect time. That time the defense blitzing, offensive line allowed everybody to run upfield, and they slip in the running back screen, and behind it there was no...
Running toward the tape. The 30. The 20. And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Michigan.
Man, how hard is it to defend when you have a weapon like this at running back that can play wide receiver? You can design ways to get the football in his hand. Palmer, once you get it in his hands, he'll do the rest.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and oftentimes those are easier throws for quarterbacks. And these running backs, they're just naturally so good when they have the football out in space. Their vision, their creativity, their ability to make people miss. And this guy showed you right there, a difficult guy to stop now if you're this defense moving forward.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. On the run from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit. Guys, we'll get another look at this Oklahoma offense. Had to settle for the chip shot field goal last time, Jesse. They'd love for this one to pay off bigger.
Yeah, it just comes down to execution, too. Did a nice job out in the field, stalled a little bit once they got down to the goal line, so they just need to be a little bit more crisp here, Dave.
Yeah, and listen, I think the first part was the most important part. You got to put the drive together first to get down there. Now, when we get down there, focus on execution and getting 6 points.
They'll run for it on 3rd and short. He'll have enough to move the chains. It's first down at the 38. And the Sooners come to the line with a new set of downs. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game.
And those physical runs take a toll. It might not be a big game now, but down the road, 3rd, 4th quarter, late in the ball games, they tend to turn into bigger runs.
Leaves it with the running back. Continuing to turn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48.
Keep pounding away at this defense and make them play the run. If you can get this many a chunk, they're going to have to commit more guys to the box, more guys to the run, then you open it up for the passing game.
They'll try to pick it up on the ground. The Sooners will keep this drive going. It'll be a first down from the 49-yard line. Quarterback on the keeper.
Well, I'll tell you what, just watching this QB in the run game, he's going to break one. At some point in this game, he is going to break a home run. Defense did a nice job getting him down there, but this guy, I'm telling you, he's just a play away from taking it to the house. Keep letting this guy do his thing.
Pulls and throws off the RPO. And he's brought to the ground, but not before he gets enough for the first down. Use the play fake, now to throw. It's in, complete, and he's lucky to get that one back, almost intercepted. Second down coming up. To the air, it's Hawkins. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43. He's a one-man wrecking crew on this defensive front. This is the type of performance that can etch you in Wolverine lore forever.
And it's a great lore to be etched in. Obviously, year after year, you see so many dominant guys in the trenches. And this is how it's done. You stop the run first, get them in passing situations, pin your ears back, and go put your name in those record books.
Trying to get to him. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again.
On 3rd and long, you know what's coming. It's exactly where you want to get an offense. The passing game has to come out. You go nickel, bring some more speed on the field, and the defensive line gets home and gets the sack to force the 4th down.
The Sooners will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. They took it down the field for a touchdown the last time they had it, and now an opportunity to take the lead in this football game.
So they got to be feeling good. They did their part, score, your defense does your part, Jesse. This offense, keep that momentum. I would say stay aggressive here.
And just keep doing what you were doing on that last drive, right? Well, whatever was working for you, just go back. Keep using those same playmakers to allow you to go down here and score a touchdown.
Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. And the defense knew exactly where that first down line was, and they stopped him short. And the Wolverines will punt this one away. They make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. The offense set for a first down play. He wants to throw. Pressure coming. Trying to make magic with his feet. He's finally stopped, but a big play there with his feet as he moves those sticks. Now on first down from the 43-yard line. He's going to pass. And they got him for the sack.
And that's just pure speed off the line of scrimmage. That offensive tackle had no shot. Barely even got a hand on that D-end as he came around the outside.
This pass rush has just been relentless, and you can bet your bottom dollar they're about to bring the heat again. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. Power football with the run. And the defense is swarming to keep him from getting to the first down. The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts. And the Sooners send out the punt unit. He'll call for the fair catch here. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Leaves it with the back. Just a solid stop by this sophomore. One snap coming before they head to the locker room. Quarterback wants to throw on second down. Got him downfield. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, it is tough to beat the Big House when it's full and rocking as it is today in Ann Arbor. And I get it. A lot of coaches will say the difference between winning and losing comes down to stopping big plays and getting big plays. But if you ask me, it's more about how good you are on third down and how efficient you are in keeping drives alive. Those two stats can help you break the will of even the best defenses and help you come out on top. With that said, let's send it back to the fellas in the booth at Michigan Stadium.
The Sooners will kick it away to start the second half. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. They start this third quarter, one-possession game, and hoping to get an early drive going.
This offense is ready, and they're ready to take the field here and see if they can get something established. They don't have to change everything and reinvent the wheel. They've had some successes in the first half, so let's get that continued here on the opening drive.
Yeah, and I love getting that break at half to go talk with my coaches and pick my offensive coordinator's brain so I know exactly what I need to do to attack this defense, and I get ball first.
Wants to throw on first down. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. After they couldn't connect, it's 2nd and 10. Wide receiver shows motion. Looking to throw on second down. Caught in the backfield, it's Moore. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. As they come to the line on 3rd and short from the 43, I wonder if they already know they'll go for it if they don't make it here. Find space on the right. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. The give to the tailback. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Lost 1 on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. He's looking to throw. Catch in the middle, it's Moore. Makes the catch and knocked down. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Wolverines will send out the punt unit. They'll look to pin him deep. And a precision punt there will pin them deep inside their own 10-yard line. Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place trying to help their defense. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. They make the stop right there. Good pickup and still short of the first down. 4 wide receivers set, trips to the left on 2nd and 3. They'll give it to the back. Breaks the tackle. He kept those legs moving, got 3 out to the 19. Pinned just inside their own 20. They need to convert on 3rd and short. To the ground to try to pick up the first. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Sooners will bring the punt team onto the field. He'll bring it back. It's Stewart. Little pressure on the coverage team there, and they'll stop him at the 47-yard line. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. And in a low-scoring game like this one, David, every possession is magnified.
And I think more than anything, it just gets frustrating. And you got to put that behind you. You got to see what this defense has been doing to be so successful. Caller, now use it against them.
Yeah, David, I think for a play caller, this is tough, right? It's like you have to have the perfect play on just to get a first down. In these types of games, I think you're just trying to get guys out in space, see if a dude can break a tackle. Maybe that generates an explosive play, and it breaks this trend.
And quarterback dropping back, understanding I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the first down.
And the Wolverines have pushed it inside the 20. On the run, it's Ocha. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. A manageable distance on 3rd down as they try to convert from the 20. From the gun, wants to pass. Got it! Touchdown, Wolverines! And that one will give them the lead.
Well, I know it's early this season, but it's obvious already. This guy is a major weapon in this offense. Had 2 touchdowns in his first game. He's now on the board right now. What a difference maker and a playmaker he's going to be this season for this offense.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is good, and it's a 4-point lead. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Fellas, it's a final now in one of the more intriguing games of the week, that notable top 25 clash. Washington State went on the road and just dominated. And that's one way to grab attention on a national level. Make a statement in someone else's house and prove you're legit. And did the Cougs ever do that? A top 25 clash and an impressive showing that could be a huge confidence builder for this program. Back to you.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. You look to be backed up, and then suddenly you're not. Big play has them across the 50, and they'll have it 1st and 10. Fast motion from the offense. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Tried to pound it on 1st down, now back to the line. The give to the running back from the shotgun. And a really nice run and pick up there before the defense avoided disaster and stopped the really big play. They'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's got his man. And that play just never got started as he's run out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. A little too anxious along that offensive line. That'll be a false start.
False start.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. The offense showing motion from the tight end, trying to get a read on the D. Hard running there. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a 1st down. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
And you could easily argue the biggest reason this team is trailing here in the second half is because they have not been able to protect their quarterback tonight. They've already given up 5 sacks in the game, and you just saw another one right there. This offensive line has had problems all night long.
And the Sooners will punt it away on 4th down. They've been busy out there to punt for the 5th time today. He'll get away another punt. He's been really active today, and no doubt he's going to earn his varsity letter. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make, because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
Now the defense will try to keep them on this end on 3rd and short from the 21. Quarterback run is part of their game plan. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Number 16, on to kick it away.
Yet another punt on the way. Got to make sure that hamstring stays loose. He's been busy. We've reached the end of the period, and Michigan has the lead. They're sitting in a strong position here with the lead. Let's take a look at our game summary. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. Time for this Sooner offense to go back to work. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. And the ball is picked off. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
And that just kind of caps off this day. It's been a day with not a lot of rhythm, not a lot of timing, not a lot of guys on the same page, and they weren't right there, and the quarterback throws an INT, and this one is not looking good.
Line gets set, 1st down.
I think one of the hardest things to do is stick to the run when it's not working. But it's those runs right there that are the reason why you have to do it, right? You can't get too one-dimensional. Keep slipping those runs in there. Keep getting a little bit of positive yards. Next thing you know, you look up and you might break one of those after you got them a little bit tired.
The ball spotted at the 27. It's 1st and 10. Quarterback keeper. Discards a man. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up. Got a little work done on 1st down. Now back to the line. Off play action. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
I think because of this offense's inability to run the football, I think play action is going to be a little bit trickier and harder for them to now pull off, because this defense is just not expecting run, or they're not afraid of their ability to run the football.
Now facing a 3rd and long. He'll pull it on the read. Finds a crease at the 20. He got a bunch and looked close to getting a lot more, but he's got the 1st down. The Wolverines are flying down the field. Quick touch pass to the receiver. He breaks a tackle. And there were no creases or crevices to run through, and they shove him out of bounds. They're about to run a dirty half-dozen plays on this drive. Trying play action. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. It's a makeable field goal from the 29-yard line. Let's see how aggressive they are on 3rd and long. Pulls it in. It's Bell.
And after that completion, it's decision time now for the head coach. Do you kick a field goal, add to your lead, and make it more difficult on the opposing offense, or do you trust your quarterback to make one more big completion here and ice the game?
It's good, and that was dead solid perfect.
That's a huge kick right there because now the opponent has to score a touchdown here in the fourth quarter. That put so much pressure on the opponent. Nice job by the special teams going out and executing in a big way.
So they're lining up to kick it off after that last drive. Put a 3-spot on the board, and now the defense will try to shut them down. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Sooner offense returns to the field. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into the rhythm.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the football off, maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense a little bit.
And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down. Looking to go up top on first down. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. And they knock him down, but he got past the line to gain. Most important part of a clutch drive. Piece together some first downs. Get in position. And here they are on 1st and 10. And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49. That kind of pickup on first down, and you can take a shot here on 2nd and short. Receiver on the move gets the touch pass. They'll stop him at the 41, but he's got 10 yards, and they'll move the chains. Finally, some signs of life from this offense, which has done nothing in the second half. It's 1st and 10. One running back in the backfield, and he has it. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
Holding.
That penalty moves the ball back 10 yards. We'll replay the down. Well, they've put themselves in a hole. It's 1st and 20. Looking to throw, it's Hawkins. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down. This offense has a 2nd down play. He's looking to throw. They're setting up the screen. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning. What a big play this one could be. Tight game, getting late, 3rd and long coming up. And the ball is intercepted. Going the other way, and he's got room. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position.
Well, the defense was expecting pass on that one. 3rd and long, they dial up the perfect coverage, and a great job in the back end, reading and reacting to the quarterback when the ball was in the air, coming away with a massive interception.
And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. Okay, Jesse, this is a little bit of a tight spot. You'd love to be aggressive enough to get the first down, but you've got to take care of the ball first.
No doubt. I was going to say, ball security is at a premium. You cannot turn the football over at this point. The defense has 3 timeouts left, David, so probably conservative play calling here. You're expecting them to try to run to ice this game.
Conservative, I know they're going to be aggressive, but I also know that one first down ends this football game.
Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Grabs it in the middle. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. And the Wolverines will line it up on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground, trying to milk the clock. A run up the middle is stuck for no gain. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Wide receiver coming across in motion. The give to the back. And how about that interior defense stuffing the run for nothing? The last 2 runs went headlong into a brick wall. Now 3rd and 10.
Encroachment. Defense.
Defense couldn't quite hold its water, and it'll be 5 free yards for the O. They'll run the option. Quick toss. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
That is exactly what you want your offense to do. You want it to eat clock, but if you score, go up by 2 possessions, nail, meet, coffin. Great execution by this offense to put this game away.
Ready to try the point after.
Is on for the extra point.
And the extra point is true, and they have a 2-touchdown lead, up 14 in the 4th. Kickoff team has the ball teed up, and they're about ready to go. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. Here come the Sooners ready to go on offense. They're trying to get to it. He's going to run it. Nice, solid form tackle from this sophomore. Sprinting to the line to try to get this one off. Clock's running. And they spike it and get the clock stopped. Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's at the 25. To the air. It's Hawkins. He's going up top here late in the game.
After that incompletion, 4th and long now on your own side of the field, you're trailing in the 4th quarter. What's your go-to play call here in the passing game? Where is the matchup that you trust in to come up with a big one to give yourself a chance to stay alive and win this game?
After picking up the first down, they still have to move quickly here. And he's just going to spike it. Line getting set on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Feeling some heat. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Now this team has consecutive wins, and when you start expecting to find ways to win games and you expect that you will perform well enough to do so, that's really hard to stop.
It's a mindset, Reese. This team has it right now. You can tell their players trust each other. Big situations arise in games. They're looking at each other in the huddle on the sideline, expecting to make the play that's going to help them win games. This team incredibly mentally tough right now, David.
And you start to build that mental toughness when you start to string together positive weeks. You start to string together positive plays. Now you know you can do it. It's not, we talked about it in the offseason, oh, we want to do this. Now you're starting to execute it and put it together on the field.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
First like thumbs up. I smashed that like thumbs up.